of our practitioners at the center, and you're also a facilitator, teacher of many programs and courses. Tell me about your journey. What brought you on the spiritual journey that got you where you were, and how did you get to this place?
Well, in 2006, I had what I realize now is a near soul death. And at that time, as soon as I figured out the key to turning things around was paying attention to my joy, well, I took my joy like my life depended on it. And I found the whole understanding, you might say, of how to reincorporate your joy, which is very connected to your soul. These are sort of one and the same, really. The information is in the same place. Putting that in the center of your life. And so the download I received, I was like, wow, that's something, it's so important. That's something you need to share. So that's what I endeavored to do after I turned things around. And I was so connected with spirit in the most natural way, that I felt like, I was like, this is for everybody. This isn't for people who, are religious, and therefore they deserve, or, this is a natural place that we all can live from. And so I've been taking that approach with all of my personal sessions, helping them to find that place in the web of life that they can just be the authentic selves that bring out their own joy into the world. So that's been my journey.
You call yourself the joy architect, and what I can say is, my experience of being around you, you just exude joy. You really just do have that really joyful place. And so people are really attracted to that bright light, that beautiful light that you hold, and they always want to know more. And in today's environment with the coronavirus going on and we're in isolation, somebody might watch this later on down the road, and that's okay, but we're all been home for about 35, 40 days. So somebody checking out this video, just to kind of give a background of where we're at. How can people step into their joy, Kate? How can they find that? Because a lot of people right now are having a hard time finding that happiness and that joy, right? And I know you believe we all have it. We can all step into it, right? So share a little bit for somebody that may be at home right now, or isolated in their home, or they can't get out, and they don't know what joy looks like, feels like, something that they can do to find a little bit of that spark of joy.
Yeah, thanks for asking. It is actually so simple. The thing that gets us tripped up is we don't know where it comes from. We think it's somewhere outside of ourselves. But joy is when we can decide how we feel in the moment. It starts there. And the most simple exercise I can give so that you can start that little journey of understanding how to make the momentum of, I can do this. I can feel the way I want to feel, goes like this. It's real quick. So if you close your eyes, and later you can do this with your eyes open, but it's easier for now to close the rest of the world out by closing your eyes. And then from the inside, look out on life. Now, what this means is, like, for example, I can say that there's a computer screen in front of me, there's things I see here, but imagine that you are looking out not just on your room, but on all of life. And once you do that, you start to see the mechanism of your breath, and you start to be able to play with it. So you know, oh, wait a minute, here, I can deepen it. What happens when I do that? You can start to creatively figure out how you want to feel in the moment by just playing there. See if you can make the sense of your connection with life that you're looking out on sort of breathe in a bigger flow. What happens then?
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. You
So
know, it's that simple concept of being present and connecting within, right?
it is, and I think most people don't see that they have a relationship with life, that they can navigate from that internal space.
Mm-hmm.
And when we know that we can go through our life having this ability to navigate the way we feel, deciding how we want to feel in the moment, you get really good at it. you start to say, you know what, wow, this really feels good. When you're full of anxiety, for example, that was something I used to have, before all this happened in 2006. Anxiety was my go-to. And, because I always wanted to make sure I was doing the right thing for everybody, serving people the way I should, and all these other things. And so anxiety was my go-to. And when I was like, wow, you can just sink and decide how you want to be. Then I was like, well, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be all anxious. I don't want that. And so you start taking all of the belief systems out that cause those triggers. And so you begin to start creating the life the way you want to create it. And one of the things that I've done in my sessions is just help people to understand the connection with life that they love the most, so that they can always find that way to connect with life in its totality, right? Just, this is how I love to express myself in the world from the inside out. And it's a feeling. And people don't realize that there's so much deliciousness that they can have within their inner world that they can then share. They can spill over into the world. And maybe that's something you've noticed as I found a lot of fun in here.
I have. I love that. And I love how you use words like deliciousness and yumminess, and you bring in all of those qualities of really feeling it. And I know you have beautiful sessions. Talk to us a little bit about some of the sessions that you offer to clients that you're able to do, even in isolation, virtually, what you offer.
Yeah. So I have two different kinds of sessions. One is called Breakthrough to Joy. And that's when you're really struggling with a personal issue that you really you're at a dead end and you want to move through. And so what I do is I open up to what I call the divine team, and I invite you into this space. And then together we find whatever insight or the flow of energy that you need to break through, whatever it is that's sort of in that stuck spot for you, and you break through to joy. The other is a series that is what I call the soul path, and it's led by opening up again to the divine team. But the divine team has us rest in what I would call nature's elements. So we roll things out one at a time so that you can be present with your relationship with life. This is the first one, and it's called Your Ticket to Joy, because it's how you find your way to connect with life that you love. And then the next is Your Joy to the World Ticket. And it's about connecting with the soul gifts that you want to bring forward. And in that session, I've helped people connect with absolutely unique soul offerings that they now love playing with. They've helped others to find find their joy to be in other ways. So that's been a precious offering that I love, and I call that the fire ticket, because that's really bringing out your passion in the world. Your inner fire gets a chance to express, and it goes. There's 5 tickets, so the next one's about connecting with your soul tribe, and that's my your joy to the world.
I love that. I love that. And I got to have a session with you and absolutely loved it. And we discovered my joy, my essence of joy, which was really interesting. And I didn't share with you at the time. I had just finished teaching a sacred priesthood class like the week or 2 weeks before. That was the same energy that came through for me, which was a connection, which is grace. And so one of the classes that I teach is love and grace. And so grace has always been really important to me. And how do we experience grace and feel grace? And how do we bring grace into life? And grace was my word. So something really connected there for me. So it was a beautiful, beautiful session. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
It was a beautiful
fun. And that's the thing, what I end up doing with whoever I'm sitting with, we literally fall into love. So it's like you fall in love with yourself, I fall in love with myself, we fall in love with each other. It's like everybody literally finds that part that's just precious. So
well, what people may not know is you're a beautiful channeler. So you actually channel in the divine energies of beautiful beings on your team and beings for that person. So pretty awesome and such a great gift to be able to offer a client in a session of being able to give them information. So amazing stuff. So for those listening, just to let them know, you also offer some beautiful classes and programs. You were doing them in person at the center, and now we're doing them on Zoom. Can you share a little bit about what those are about and what you're offering there?
Well, the Flow Your Magic is the one that I hold 3 times a month. And magic is my word. I open up to what I call the ground state of being. I dive into the unknown and see what's there. And as I do that, I invite everyone else to play along with me. And what happens is you find this flow of just your loving heart, your joy that's unique to you. So it's a way that you can, if you've never connected with your soul, if you've never connected with the gifts that you alone kind of, your essence, it's a chance for you to tap into that and really get to know yourself in a way more. If you have had one of my sessions, it gives you a chance to really bring in that sense of confidence in providing your essence in the world. The other thing is each one is completely unique. This is one thing I love about it, because now the disembodied world has found so much joy in this gathering as well, because it is an expression of humans standing in their power, just their own power, their own uniqueness, and it's attracted a crowd. And so now I channel, I've been channeling sort of guest instructors, if you will, that come in and add a perspective as we're playing. Like I had recently 3 archangels come, Raphael, Uriel, and Emmanuel, sharing different perspectives of their soul essence and their soul joy. So we can get something, there's a new taste that you can have of yourself each time as we bring in those beings. And the next one's coming up are multidimensional fields, which You don't need to have previous experience with the multidimensional world. It's just sort of a fall in and play experience. But their names are Jubilee, Bliss, and Beauty that I've asked to come and play. So
I think that's really awesome. That's so amazing. So very cool. So what are you working on? What's your new thing that you're in the creative mode? I know you mentioned it earlier before we got on, you know, this beautiful, I love when you get excited about something. So it's something you're excited about.
Yeah, I am really excited about it. I've had this workshop called The Creator's Game, in which you get a chance to deep dive into connection with yourself. And it probably will be a prerequisite for this new one, but received the full download of this new offering, this new workshop called Awakening Your Dream Life. And it's about having this set of what I call creator skills. Sort of once you are in relationship with yourself, once you're standing in your power, how do you navigate with those skills? Like having the senses of the creator, inner knowing, self-reliance, finding your alignment, those kind of senses, you might say. And let's say divine will, knowing the difference between when you're in your own sacred will and when you're in the ego will, and how to shift to where you need to be to move forward. So many delicious, juicy things coming up with that workshop. It's a 4-day workshop, very, well, it's intensive, but anything that you do with me is a joyride. So just so you know, the people that have taken the workshops have, been a little nervous that, oh my gosh, she says it's an intensive, but it's, you move into your most natural you, and you play and you learn and you explore. So lots of fun.
Oh, I look forward to seeing that come up. I know you're working on that. You and I continue to work and build and create things. We just are very much creative and creative generators.
Very inspired by you, Vialet. Very inspired by you. Really grateful.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on today. And honestly, I look forward to being able to see you again at the center and to be at the center and be part of that. Like, I know we all miss going in and seeing each other and being part. We've all been kind of grieving since the center flooded, and now coronavirus has added an additional layer of challenges. So we look forward to being able to get back into that space and get to really see each other. I love having you on the team. I love what you offer. The community loves working with you and being part of that. So thank you for that and being part of that. You and your lovely husband, your beautiful husband, are so much a part and have always been very supportive. And so thank you so much for all of that.
Well, thank you. We just love being part of the community. It's a sacred community. And so there's just nothing better than that. It's, wonderful people, joyful space to share, just coming in, seeing what so many lovely gifts just being offered in the space. And you and Tom just really make everyone feel just perfectly at home there. And yeah, my husband, he always plays, by the way, with in all my workshops. He is a key player. That's what I like to call it. So I know how Tom is that also for you. You're definitely a team, and there's nothing more enjoyable than being on a great team. So, and that it is. So thank you so much for creating that space. We love it so.
I love having you guys. Well, thank you so much. I am looking forward to seeing you really soon at the center.
Yeah, me too.